The AA Circuit of Ireland Rally presents different goals for different people. Up front, it's the battle of the supercars for outright victory. And for others, it's a fabulous weekend's motoring adventure. We'll be looking at both ends of the scale in the next 50 minutes. The circuit is also 56 years of motoring history, and John Watt remembers most of them.
This is my 38th Circuit of Ireland. I started off 38 years ago navigating in an A35 for a friend of mine called John Eakin of Oma. I've never missed a rally since, except when one was stopped through foot and mouth disease, which wasn't my fault. And then there was a petrol shortage one year and it was cancelled. But otherwise, I've been in every rally for the last 38 years.
Looking in your mirror for? Who are the ones that you feel the real opposition?
Any of them in the top 15, I think, are all opposition in this event, you know.
Give us three.
Well, I think if I was picking three, I would pick Austin McHale, number one. He's always a really old character, you know. He's always there, he's always nipping at the bit, and as long as Austin's in, he's a threat, you know. James Cullen, I think, will go very well. Andrew Nesbitt will go very well. Liam O'Callaghan. You know, the list goes on, really. I don't think you could really confine it to three.
It's even difficult to define it to three, Plum, to be honest, really. There's I feel 6 cars there at least who could win the rally. Possibly 7 or 8 this particular event, but I think you have to look at Bertie and the Toyotas.
George here, he controls the show. I just do the driving, and whatever he tells me to do, I'll do it.
And he usually tells you things fairly suddenly, George. What's this suddenly?
Rather than make distances, we prefer words, and they're easier understood. So when things go wrong, they can be very sudden.
To the Ulster Automobile Club's joy, 76 crews in the main rally and 27 historic entries set out from Bangor for the first day. Following a test in Bangor Castle grounds, they bypass Belfast and take in 3 tough high-speed stages before the first service halt outside Dungannon. After service, there are 3 more tests before they can pay more attention to their cars in Monaghan. The final 3 stages are situated west of Ardee before they reach the rally's new southern headquarters in Tala.
Hold tight, girls. Here comes Bertie Fisher and Rory Kennedy in the Toughback Subaru Impreza. Bertie was expected to be favourite, but he wasn't expected to open out almost half a minute's lead after just 4 stages. The Sydney Meek Run Subaru is fastest on every one of the opening tests. Stephen Murphy has been one of the revelations of the year. His time in the national rally scene has been well spent, and there are a few surprise faces in Dungannon when the times are totted up. The Statoil Escort is 4th after 4 stages. The Tarmac Championship leader is in trouble, however. Brake trouble. The Castrol Toyota is not giving the doubler and its co-driver Brian Murphy an easy ride. They're back in 6th place. James Cullen and Ellen Morgan in the Wrangler Escort have been out of rallying since Lurgan Park, so it's a play yourself in time for the Donegal driver. He gets dangerously close to the wall there. But by stage 3, he's second fastest to Bertie. The Mike Little prepared car has a slipping clutch, however. Andrew Nesbitt is the man of the moment. The Donegal winner and the Galway leader will want to put thoughts of dry stone walls behind him, and the Armagh ace is expected to be right on Fisher's pace in his Pirelli-shod Toyota.
Into. Right side, left 5, suddenly. Right 5 over crest, suddenly. Caution, very muddy. Left 8 tightens over crest 6, caution, watch this. Into. Brake early, muddy, left 9, brake early. Into. Chicane, right 12, left 12, right 6, caution.
Things are more than satisfactory for the Suddenly pair at the end of the Castle Park stage.
Right 8, keep tidy, watch the curb, into. Long left 8 and finish, keep at it. Okay.
Nice one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the first real test at Foy Lane is a different matter. The conditions are treacherous on the heavily farmed side roads, and they can't say that George Miller doesn't give Andrew plenty of warning.
Right, take it easy now. Left side, right 6 over crest, tighten, suddenly, very slippy. Junction, left 6, very slippy. And treble caution, stop, Mirage, jump 12, suddenly, right 9 at fence. Left, yeah, good.
Suddenly, it's all over. It may not have looked that spectacular from inside the car, but the Philip White Tyres Toyota is not going any further in this circuit. It's jammed in gear. It's an enormous disappointment for the popular Armagh driver and his many admirers. Things can only get better. Liam O'Callaghan also desperately needs a finish following his disappointingly early departure in Galway. The Canturk driver of the Esso Ultron Toyota finishes in the first group of stages in 5th place. Once again, Eamon Boland is in the headlines. The Wexford driver has the Hertz Escort up to 2nd. Yes, this is certainly going to be a thriller. Pete Doughty in the DPE Engineering Escort, however, drops some time when the master switch drops out after a heavy landing. Padder Herson in the Tipperary Water Escort has also overshot on a number of occasions. Donald Bones leads the Group N Tarmac Championship after Galway. But Tony Cairns is the initial Group N leader on the circuit in the Westman Subaru. Not bad for a showroom greenhorn. Meanwhile, back in Bangor, Sammy Fisher's Mini is finally released. There's little evidence here of a recce, and the Donegal pair even have time for a chat.
Watch the slip now. Boys up and off in there, down in the hairpin left, get it right. So. Handbrake's not working, not again. Keep her flat up right here.
Kieran Sweeney's instructions are somewhat simpler than what we've been used to. None of your numbered corners here, just basic facts.
Throughout the rally, we'll be going behind the scenes with the Esso Ultron O'Callaghan team to learn about the enormous backup required to run a Group A rally car.
We have 3 in one chase and 2 in the other chase. In the service van we have 2 as well. We also have 1 or 2 people in standby that we, maybe if we're not sure of what the weather's going to be like out the road, we send them out the road to that particular stage and get them to check and see what the you know, it could be dry here, it could be raining outside. So
how do you make sure they're all in the right place?
Well, we have here we have the maps, and we also make out a schedule, just a pre-event schedule, normally 2 weeks, whenever the road book or whatever becomes available for the event, we'll make out our schedule, pencil in, normally go over the route, but with the circuit, with the distances involved, we don't cover the full route in the circuit as we would in any other event. We then make outer schedules which pinpoints the exact location so everyone knows exactly where they're meant to be and at what exact time they're meant to be there, how much time we will have with them, whether we have to give them tyres, fuel, whatever. It gives it a full plan, so hopefully it is a foolproof system. Anyway, it works well for us.
There's been a lot of talk about this extremely tight hairpin on stage 5. What's all the fuss about, thinks Fisher, as he executes a classic handbrake turn. The Ballinamallard driver posts another fastest time. Is this domination or what? It's a very different Bertie to the one who was bouncing off walls 12 months ago. Stephen Murphy is also perfect. Good enough to move him up a place ahead of Cullen as he takes second fastest time on this stage. Eamon Boland is another who's learned how to use his handbrake. But the Wexford driver is dropping back into Murphy's clutches due to throttle response problems. Only 5 seconds separate the escorts after 5 stages. James is in trouble. He's obviously aware that he has a handbrake problem and he tries to take a wide line. There isn't enough room and the seconds evaporate. Now you'd expect Austin to have no problems. Not so. The Castrol car is still in 6th place, some 1.5 minutes behind his long-term rival Fisher. He's leaving himself a lot of work to do tomorrow. Now, before you burst out laughing at Tony Cairns, remember, a Group N Impreza doesn't have a hydraulic handbrake. This manoeuvre may not be as stupid as it looks. Eamon McAleenan is having an exciting time in his extraordinary Metro 6R4 engine Peugeot, but the hybrid will sadly not last the distance. Jay Jordan is in clutch trouble. Now Maguire has a sticking throttle. The Doyle Brothers NIIB Honda is overheating.
If the antics of 007 are anything to go by, we're in for a real treat at this test just outside Cullen. The mud has turned to dust. And although Bertie eases off a little bit in the tough Max Subaru in the last 2 stages of the day, he has left a trail that isn't even warm when the others arrive. Stephen Murphy has moved ahead of Eamon Boland by stage 9.
We were very happy that we were there or thereabouts on a good few stages with Bertie. He seems to have serious power in the car, but we were very pleased that we're lying second overnight tonight, so we're looking forward to tomorrow. Sally Gap, Bocavana.
Boland, the Galway runner-up, again is showing a blistering pace, but a sticking throttle at these speeds cannot be much fun. At last, James